Welcome to the Jenn Hayward Show. Today we're going to address a serious issue in the Jenn Hayward fashion. We're going to be discussing the Harvey Weinstein scandal and sexual abuse and harassment and people's response to it. So I hope you enjoy. Check it out. Okay, so as many of you may know, Harvey Weinstein is a big movie producer who's responsible for many blockbuster movies, and it's been a well-known fact in certain circles that he has sexually harassed many women. We're talking hundreds of women. We're talking overt, not little harassment such as I touched your shoulder or asked you on a date. We're talking about asking to shower in front of you, trying to sleep with all of them, that sort of thing, the casting couch. We also have Donald Trump, who talked about wanting to grab women by the you-know-what, we'll just say it, the pussy, and just said that was locker talk. So I want to address this, but I don't want to address this. It's already been addressed. I want to address people's response to it. So let's talk about that. The first thing is that when someone is accused like this on a mass scale, you seem to have men who come out en masse, and you have some who will say, oh my God, I didn't know this was going on, I support it, I support the women. Or you have someone come out and says, I did know this was going on, I feel guilty for what I've done. But you have a lot of men who come on and say, not all men. No one said it was all men. People said this was an issue in this field and in other fields. We're saying it's an issue with one man who assaulted or sexually harassed hundreds of women. It's not about you. It's not about you. It never was about you. This is like the Black Lives Matter and people coming and saying, whoa, 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 but don't all lives matter? Yeah, but we're not talking about you. We're talking about Black lives. And when you think about other groups, it's not the same, right? It's not the same. You don't have someone without legs and they're in a wheelchair saying, I need an accessible bathroom. And you don't have a whole bunch of people with two legs going, well, don't we all deserve an accessible bathroom? It's about us. No, it only seems to happen on gender issues and Black lives or marginalized people. It's all about us, but it's not about you. The issue is about those women and the other women who've been attacked. I've even seen someone come out and say, what about male victims too? No one is saying this doesn't happen to men. No one is saying men don't get assaulted. Men are supported by women's groups, absolutely. That is not the issue at hand. It's not about that. It's about the thousands, the hundreds of voices that are saying this happened to me. If a man is saying something happened to him, absolutely. An example is Terry Crews, big hulking man, came out and said he was sexually harassed by a man as well. But he did it in a way not to detract from what's going on with women and power and women, men against women. He came out as an ally and said, like, people are saying, why didn't you just say no? Or why didn't you fight back? And if you look at him, he is this huge, bulky, muscly man who was also a victim of sexual harassment. And if he had trouble with it, imagine anyone else. So I'd like you to imagine right now is that I'm making some cookies, right? I like cookies, some people like cookies, okay? And I'm talking about the ingredient that I'm using right now, which would say is flour, right? And flour is an important ingredient to make these cookies unless you're gluten-free, but I don't care because we're not talking about gluten-free people, we're talking about my cookies, right? But what if someone's like, well, whoa, 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 Jen. Okay, I know flour is important, but what about the sugar? Sugar is important too. Sure, sugar is important to this recipe unless you're diabetic, but again, we're talking about my stuff. But sugar is important, but I'm talking about flour. I wasn't talking about sugar, right? It's not like we're having all chocolate chips matter. No, you're not gonna have a thing. When I'm talking about flour, I'm talking about flour. We're talking about women victims. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about you as men. No one said you're a sexual harasser. No one said you're going to abuse us. No one said that. We're also not saying all women have been victims, but we are giving a voice to the women who have been. So stop making it about you. Let the women talk. The term mansplaining exists for a reason. This is a woman's issue right now. Women coming out and talking about their treatment. So don't make it about you. If you have other issues, bring them up. Let's talk about them. No one is negating your experiences. But right now, it's about those women. It's about eradicating the power dynamics of sexual assault and sexual harassment, and let's do something and stop making it about you. Also floss.